What's up, Michigan State fans? It's Jake Kotzenik here, back for another episode of the Michigan State Spartans Insider Podcast. It's now the podcast for Thursday, April 9th, 2026. Talking some football with you guys today. Again, currently in the midst of week 4 out of 5 of spring practices going on at the facility, the Scandalaris Football Center going on right now. Again, they've had, I believe they're four. Again, they've had availabilities once a week. They're having another one on Thursday. Uh, Thursday morning, recording this, like Wednesday night, Thursday, actually a little after midnight here. And one of the things that is standing out again and again and again that I think I want to talk with you guys about here is the energy shift is very, very different. What's being reported by people, coaches and players alike, of people who are here when Jonathan Smith was the coach, and now people when Pat Fitzgerald are the coach. It's a different vibe. That's the main thing here. I mean, it's energy. I mean, it was one of the biggest complaints people had about Jonathan Smith is he was kind of stone faced. So you didn't see any emotion from the head coach. Almost all the time, he just kind of sit there with his arms crossed. Maybe he'd clap his hands a couple of times, but you never really saw Jonathan Smith yell a whole bunch. Maybe he would yell at an official once in a while. But it was not something. It's not his thing, for better or worse. I get it. Kind of being you're the head coach. You're supposed to be the guy who is calm when everyone is, going crazy and all this. But I don't know if he. But sometimes when everyone is down, you kind of have to be that presence of energy to lift your team up. And I don't know. That's not something you really heard was going on with Jonathan Smith. It's just you kind of have to be. I think I can't remember who told me this or where I heard it from, but it's like you want your head coach to be someone who's the opposite of what feels normal. I think I actually heard this about Tom Izzo. I think that's something I heard about Tom Izzo. Is like when everyone is super happy, super amped up, is like he can be you got to be the coach who can just kind of calm everyone down and bring people down to earth a little bit, the appropriate to an extent, to an appropriate amount. But there's also times where everyone's down, and they have these practices during the spring, like during weekdays. Like these are early practices, like 6:30 in the morning. And college students don't like getting up that early. I like college athletes probably a little different. You're used to having early morning lifts, perhaps at like 5 or something like that, but still early. Like you're waking up and you have to go play football. And they're saying like Fitzgerald's coming in there screaming. Like Rossi's brought it up. Like Courtney Hawkins was speaking earlier this week. Like the energy he has at 5 a.m. is like remarkable. Like whatever he puts in his coffee, like I need some of that. And that's a very, very different tune that is going on compared to last season. Like I think Nakai Martinez had the best quote, or like a pretty illuminating quote of just it's just so much different this season. I mean, I wrote something, just got like 4 quotes on just kind of how different things are from this year to last, and on just the energy, like how like players, like Ben Roberts like said, like players want to be here. Like maybe that's us. So, like you can read the subtext there, and like that there's a more want to right now in the building than probably in the past. He didn't say players didn't want to be there last year, but like the question that he was responding to was like, "What's different?" And he said, "Players want to be here." So that was one of those things that kind of make move your. I can't really have my eyebrow go up, but it kind of makes your eyebrow go up a little bit because what was it like during these practices at this time last year, and they weren't even practicing at 6 a.m. But like you're seeing the team is posting these videos too. Like you can see it for yourself even. Like they have these videos of the coaches mic'd up during practices, and you can feel it. You wouldn't know that these practices are happening earlier on in the mornings. Like these practices are happening before usually when I wake up. I'm young. I'm 21 years old still. Usually I'm not. They're probably wrapping up with practices by the time I'm getting up, and usually I'm not fully awake until like almost lunchtime, just because that's I'm not a morning person, but it seems Pat Fitzgerald certainly is, and that is it's just overall just the energy level and everything around. Just just that type of thing feels very, very different. And I think that's the type of football fans want. You want to have that fast, physical, tough brand of football that makes you think of the Mark D'Antonio days. Like Mark D'Antonio wasn't a guy who was hopping around and everything on the sideline, but he knew when to bring it. Like you saw him get amped up. Like he's not Tom Izzo, but like you knew it was in the bag. But like with Jonathan Smith, you never saw him truly, going out there and yelling. Like again, like going watching that 2025 season unfold, like when Joe Rossi moved down to the sideline, and like I remember I didn't go on the road for a couple of games, but it was like the Iowa game. Again, they blow that lead, but like they showed it may be I think it was really the Minnesota game. I think he had moved down to the sideline at that point. Like they showed Rossi more than Jonathan Smith because Rossi was just better television. Like you would have thought Joe Rossi was the head coach. I think like that's what people were saying on like during the Michigan game. Like they were showing Rossi a bunch of times, because like he was the guy he was the guy doing like showing his stuff on the sideline, like cheering on his players and showing emotion and everything. But yeah, you know what Jonathan Smith is going to be doing when you put the camera on him. He's usually not talking. Maybe he'll be talking into his headset, but usually you're not. It's a relatively blank or just normal expression. I don't think you're going to deal with that with Pat Fitzgerald. Rossi's staying on the sideline, he says, so that'll be interesting. Again, but he kind of joked earlier this week too, like they're going to need like a get back coach to prevent them from like colliding with the refs or going out onto the field because they're getting all hyped up and stuff like that. So I think you're going to see a very, very different sideline in 2026 than you did in 2025. Now, do I think this is a team that's going to go out there and go win 10 games? No. But I think that is one of the building blocks that I guess of setting up the culture the right way in progressing this thing forward and forward. And but overall, first impressions from the players, and from what the assistant coaches that Fitzgerald retained, like it's positive, but to some level, I feel like it's almost always going to be positive in these first couple of days because they're not going to go out there and on the podium and say, "Yeah, this isn't going very well." But some of the quotes have been pretty frank. Again, there's videos of all of it on our YouTube channel. You can go watch them, and like you can be the judge for yourself as well. So, but yeah, that is all for today. There's going to be more written content coming your way. Basketball transfer portal is open right now. What center is MSU going to get? We don't know at this very moment. We'll have to wait and see on that one. But there will be plenty of written content coming your way on basketball, football, or whatever else is going on around East Lansing at the moment. You can get that at SpartanNation.com or at Michigan State Spartans on SI. There'll be more podcasting content coming your way right here. But yeah, signing off. I'm Jacob Katzanika. I'll see you guys around.